You've been drinking quite a lot of coffee.
Good morning. I'm going live a bit early today because I woke up really early. Also, I'm super excited to continue the story mode playthrough. Let's just get into it right now, actually. Alright, we are back. We're continuing the story mode playthrough. We're starting Act 5. The witch has just arrived in Oriath with a lust for vengeance.
When I'm ready, and not before.
We have materialized inside of the slave pens, so we need to get out of here.
Everything dies.
Everything dies. Yeah, that's how this build plays, pretty much. These heralds are pretty strong. I'm kind of wondering if I went the wrong way there. I feel like I should be going more to the left. I'm gonna clear in this direction though and have a look. We'll probably loop around if not. Yeah, it's a loop around kind of deal. Let's go back. There we go. We killed...
Is that all? I expected so much more.
Is that all? Yeah. He just fell over. I could barely see him. It was Overseer Crow. In terms of passives, I think... I actually don't know what I want to do next with my passives. So I might just dump into life for now and maybe build towards some other life nodes. Alright, we have arrived.
There's a rebellion on. How quaint.
How quaint. We've arrived in the Overseer's Tower. Let's talk to Lonnie.
An exile returned. How was that even possible? Rising out of the darkness to claim the souls of our enemies like Hinekora in the stories my mother used to tell me. Well, your divine intervention gave us just the diversion we needed to take this tower. So if you keep doing things like that, then I might have to start believing in the gods again. And thank you for finishing off that last overseer for us. I don't know what sort of mother could have birthed that land-loving whale, but we were lucky he wasn't here when we took this tower. He'd have spread us across the floor like butter on a piece of bread. Here, take something for helping us in this hopeless fight of ours.
I actually did not know that me attacking the slave pens enabled them to take this tower. I thought they'd been here for a while, but apparently they just took this place because of me.
We'd been planning it for months, spreading the word, stealing weapons, gathering support. Utula and his followers did most of the dirty work. I just carried a few messages here and there. Should have known I'd end up like this when the real fighting started. In the darkest hour before dawn,
That's the way.
that's when we broke our
I
chains.
like it.
And as many overseer necks as we could wrap our hands around. We took the Panopticon as the sun rose over Theopolis, and that's as far as we got. When you're up against cold steel and colder hearts, there's only so far that anger will take you.
Alright, they mentioned Utula. Oh, there's
Do this
Utula.
for freedom.
Ha! After everything I've done, it took an Oriathan to get these slaves up off their shackled asses and fighting. I guess the Templar should have treated their lessers better than their slaves, eh? Well, I'm not about to turn down a gift from Kitava. If he wants slave and outcast to join hands, then let's remind these Templar that they're flesh and blood, just like us. Utsula Makora is what they call me. I'm what passes for a chief around here. Well, I put the steel in their hands. I tell them where to stab, where to run, where to die. If that doesn't make me a chief, what does, eh? Blood isn't the only currency we need to earn to buy our freedom. We can kill all the Templar mongrels we like out there. It won't matter a damn if we don't get inside their stronghold, the Templar courts. Might as well put my bloody chains back on right now. Problem is, there's some sort of witchery surrounding the place. Only those who see the truth with faithful eyes are getting in there. The power of innocence. It's all in the eyes, you see. Yet blessed Kitava has answered my prayers and sent us just the pair of eyes we need. The ever-faithful Justicar-Casticus.
Wait a minute.
There in the control blocks right now, smiting my people with self-righteous fury. Find him and rip his faithful eyes out. Then I'm sure the good Justicar will be kind enough to see you into the Templar courts.
So apparently these guys are worshippers of Kitava, or at least this guy is.
Unlike these assorted ignorami, I'm not surprised to see you here. The beast is dead, all thanks to you, I suppose. I was listening to the beast's death rattles when these lunatics broke in, wrecked the place, and dragged me here to tend to their cuts and bruises. Thankfully, I was able to bring some of my paraphernalia with me. The balance of power is shifting in your favor, O murderer of nightmares. If I am in possession of anything that might smooth the transition of governance, don't hesitate to ask. You'll find my terms quite reasonable. Some time ago, I fabricated a device able to sense and amplify the corrupt murmurings of Rayclast, a miasmeter. I listened to those whispers for years, lingering beyond sane comprehension. And then the scream. Such profound agony that my mind was nearly sundered by its percussion. I thought another cataclysm might be upon us. But no, it was you, slaying the beast. I was witness to a singularly potent cadence. This corruption, I am convinced that it holds the very key to our human history, and with it, our very existence. Yet without the miasmeter, I'm condemned to deafened ignorance. It remains in Piety's laboratory, as long as Utula's miscreants haven't vandalized the poor thing. Find it. Farewell.
Alright, so we are helping the slaves lead a rebellion against the Templar, but in doing so, we are possibly releasing Kitava upon the world.
Well, I know his other names. The Black Spirit, the Cannibal King, the Ravenous One. He was all of those things before Tsukuhama slashed out his eyes, before Valakor drowned him in the sea, before Hinekora whipped him and condemned him to immortal darkness. Kitava has learned from the suffering inflicted upon him. Learned what cruelty is from his own flesh and blood. Learned what it means to be a slave. Now he hungers for freedom. Not merely for himself, for all of us who have suffered under whip and shackle. Kitava is the tormented one, destined to rise up from the darkness and banish cruelty from this world. And we, his children, rise with him.
Oh, another thing. Yesterday I speculated that the beast might be Kitava, but it appears the beast is a separate entity altogether. Kitava is some other kind of old god, I guess. One more thing. Let's ask about Innocence. That is also another god.
Old Red Eyes. He's been quiet for a long time. Just like Kitava and Tsukohama. All of the old gods. Now Innocence has woken up, and with him, power like I've never seen the Templar wield before. It's alright though. We slaves, we've got our own god looking out for us now. I can see him in the eyes of my brothers and sisters, smell him in the blood we've spilled, hear his call in the screams of the fallen. I don't rightly know where the gods have been or what's brought them crawling back, nor do I really care. All I need to know, my friend, is that we're not alone anymore. For freedom.
That would just make life complicated.
Alright, so take note of these names though. Uchula and Villenta, I think they will show up later in the story as well. But for now, let's go get the miasmator. Let's fight our way through the control blocks, kill Justicarcass, and see where that takes us.
When I'm ready, and not before.
I'll do one more level of clarity, I think. I also believe I should be able to get a higher level Enlighten soon to unreserve some more mana. Alright, there's the miasmator.
Thaumaturgy and science combined. That's rather clever.
Am I going the right way? I might have to go back. Nope, this is a dead end. There we go. We make short work of Casticus.
These beauties. Perfect for my collection.
His eyes. Nice. Use the Eyes of Zeal to access the Templar Quartz. So we're basically taking his eyes to use in a retinal scanner. I don't know where the retinal scanner is, but that's pretty funny.
These people have no idea their time is almost up.
Yeah, let's head back to the Overseer's Tower and hand in the quests.
Thank you. By killing Casticus, you've given us a fighting chance. And about his eyes, I'm sorry you had to do that. Yet although Utula's solution might seem brutal, I've seen Karui men blinded with a hot poker, simply for looking a fraction too long at an Oriathan lady. Yes, this is war. And just a little revenge, too. Take something. A token of our thanks.
I'll take a hallowed flask, maybe.
For freedom.
Probably don't need 2 life flasks at this point, though. We'll see. Did I level? I did. So I can now get a level 3 Enlighten instead of the level 1. That's gonna save me a lot of mana. I could potentially do the same with Empower. I didn't buy one. I'll maybe do that after after this act, in between episodes.
Greetings.
Alright, let's head to the Templar Courts. Oh, we have a lot more unreserved mana now. Probably will be able to level Clarity a bit more.
Ready and not before.
Alright, Templar Courts entrance. How do we use these eyes? Aw, the door just opens. I was hoping we would hold up the eyes.
I swore they would suffer for exiling me, and I always keep my promises.
We're now looking for High Templar Avarius. I guess we could try to stabilize a breach here. Oh, there might not be enough monsters, actually. No, let's just move on. The music in this place is amazing.
Something's here. Something different.
Alright, we have a plaque by the stained glass window. Let's read it. Oh, it's not voice acted. RIP. Okay. I think I'll probably just keep leveling the clarity for now. My mana pool seems fine. Yeah, none of these stained glass window plaques are voice acted. For the life nodes, we might go... Where do we go? I could just take these for now. These are not great, but I'll probably just respec later.
When I'm ready, and not before.
This one might be voice acted. Let's have a look. Nope, still not. Yeah, I don't expect any of the stained glass plaques to have voice acting then. So we'll just grind our way to the boss here. We're entering the Sanctum of Innocence.
The world must be cleansed of impurity.
Let's start with you, shall we?
Nice retort.
Burn! I am the Emperor.
Are you though? Are you really the Emperor?
I am order. I am the new and the eternal. I am innocence.
That power.
I
Incredible.
am the storm.
Apparently, he is the God Emperor of Eternity. Innocence.
I am the Emperor.
We're taking on the gods now.
I am the Emperor. I am no more.
Innocence! You, and only you, I shall save. I am Sin, the Forgotten One. Would that humanity could forget all of my kind. Perhaps with your help, that might still come to pass. For now, the blinding light has been dimmed, and darkness floods in to fill the void. The desperate and depraved set a feast for their lord incumbent, Kitava, the Ravenous One.
And this is actually when the credits play. For some reason, they play in the middle of the game.
Should
Actually, no,
Kitara accept
that's
the invitation,
that's not the
there is but
credits.
one
That's just
thin
a
sliver of hope for us all.
just a
My brother's
cutscene.
sign of purity. Look to it in the choking passages of Templar reverence. It shall be your torch when night falls at last.
I think it used to be a spot where the credits would play. I could be wrong though. What are we doing here?
He
Innocence.
lives, after a fashion. That pretentious little vessel of his served only to encourage his divine follies. I have procured him a more sensible host, one that should contain his excesses and temper that fragile ego of his. Hear this, brother. From mind of lead to heart of gold, your soul shall be bound, your wrath shall grow cold. Though I am a god, I have not forgotten my humanity. I care for that which I once was. Kitava remembers nothing and cares for nothing but his own hunger and greed. He is an endless pit of gnashing teeth and churning guts. While other gods rise on the mainland and fight for the meager scraps of what was, Kitava has the most fecund and formidable civilization of his age at his disposal. He can feed when he likes, and he grows ever stronger with each morsel. All of Oriath shall soon belong to Kitava, and if that happens, he will rise beyond even our reach. Deep in the Templar's ossuary, in the company of the dead, there lies the sign of purity. Innocence bled himself for the creation of that cruel and desperate weapon. Tempered in his own ruby ichor, it was forged to be a transcendent tool of punishment and purification. The sign is a living agent of righteousness, or at least the dubious kind of righteousness that my brother subscribes to. Innocence found in the first High Templar a most faithful servant, and gifted the sign to him so that it might be used in times of great need. The great need of Innocence believers, that is. Humanity's general well-being has never been of particular concern to my brother.
All right.
I've conquered one god already. What's one more?
Let's ask him about Kitava as well.
I am Sin.
Oh, never mind. We already had that. That voice line.
What in damnation have you done?
I know, right? I released Kitava.
You've destroyed him, and yet I hear the voice of innocence, begging for our forgiveness, asking for our help. You and I heard him the moment the High Templar fell, whispering inside my damned skull, his heart beating within my chest. Innocence protects us now, holds fast the door against the murderous tide that rushes to meet us. He wants you to pass through that door, to bring order to the chaos beyond. I don't understand any of this. Moments ago, I was just a soldier obeying his High Templar, banning the nobody. Now, my God lays inside my head, telling me to let you through that door and to make my way to Overseer's Tower, if it still stands. It does? All right. I don't know what's waiting for you out there, but should you survive it, I'll see you at Overseer's Tower.
Alright, so Innocence is now on our side and holding Kitava at bay, and is guiding us to take him out, I guess.
Someone's redecorated. I like it.
But now everything is burning.
When I'm ready, and not before.
And the Templars are depraved.
This chaos should have been of my making.
Should have been of your making. It kind of is of your making, isn't it? I mean, not directly, but you did kill Innocence. Or release him. Defeat him. Turn him to our side. Release Kitava, I guess. Or unleash Kitava. Alright, normally I'd do the ossuary here, but let's head to town and have a chat with these people.
You deserve recognition for what you have done. You've freed us from Templar oppression. Yet I fear you may have defeated the lesser of two evils. Still, take something. You'll be needing it in the dark times to come. Once Kitava has gobbled up every scrap of Oriathan flesh, sucked every Oriathan bone dry of marrow, he'll turn his endless hunger to Namakanui and the whole Karui archipelago. As you know, the Karui will fight, and they'll fight hard, but they're going to need all the help they can get. And I know of 3 treasures that might just make the difference. They were taken when the Templar raided Namakanui. A whip woven of Hinekora's hair. A tooth that Tukohama ripped from his own mouth. A fishhook that was once the jawbone of Valakor. Together, they're known as Kitava's torments and lie within the reliquary that borders Oriath Square. I saw them with my own eyes when delivering messages to the scholars there. Please, go to the reliquary and claim those treasures before Kitava's children do.
Will do.
For freedom.
I simply can't express how wondrous it is to see you. What? No, not you, Exile. The miasmeter. The hope of humanity lies in this beautiful device and the precious knowledge it shall divulge. Far more useful than an accidental hulk of meat and instinct like yourself. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to discover that your slaying of the beast correlates directly to the strife we must currently suffer. At least you've proved useful enough to return the miasmeter to me. That deserves some small reward, I suppose.
Hey, Kadak. Quack. Morning.
Now, where was I?
Valenta was more excited to see the miasmeter than me.
We're glad you made it. No, damn it all, that's just too strange to abide. I'm glad you made it. And innocence tells me I need to keep helping you. So that's what I'm going to do. I know my way around weapons and armor, and all things Templar if you should want for further enlightenment on that subject. As for innocence, I don't know. Sometimes he makes sense, other times he's a shattered god, but he'll heal. I'll make sure of that. Lani's told me a little about Utula and his cult of Kitava. Enough to know what Utula's got planned. Bring about the fall of one god so he can raise up one of his own. And this Kitava, from what fragments I can piece together from innocence, he's not the benevolent kind. Please, find Utula and stop him. I'm not saying this because I want to put innocence back on his divine throne. I'm saying this because Oriath is my home. It's made some mistakes, but it doesn't deserve the fate that Utula has in mind. Innocence forgives you.
Alright, next up, Ossuary to get the Sign of Purity. Yeah, let's do that.
Had I the time, I could raise an endless legion from these bones.
So many bones.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Alright, I think I'll pause the clarity there. Next time it levels. I don't want to reserve any more mana than this.
The more I feel of divinity, the more I want it.
Wrought from blood and gold, Innocence fashioned a weapon of tempered purity capable of banishing darkness and bringing order to the chaos in men's hearts.
An empire is nothing more than a standard pitched in the naked earth. The time has come for you to raise the standard upon the peak of false faith, the apex of Chitta's cathedral. Drive it deep into that sacred stone. Mark the death of a faithless empire and slay the slavering kingdom that seeks to consume it.
Alright, but before we go kill Kitava, we need to get some relics and stop Utula. Hey, Elite Largo, morning. That's a dead end. Let's go back.
Did you think our vengeance was done, Savior? Oh no, it has only begun.
Utula looks a bit different now.
Aureus was mine to burn. You took that from me. Now you will join the pyre.
Alright, hopefully there's some lore in the reliquary. There should be.
When I'm ready, and not before.
There's Valiko's jaw. One day you eat the fish, one day you feed the fish.
To replace the feast of birds that Kitava had greedily consumed, Tukohama, our father of war, and Valako, father of storm, went fishing. Although Kitava was blind, he could still cast his line and feel when a fish took his bait. So, Tukohama and Valakor took him with them on Tukohama's mighty canoe. But while they fished, Kitava grew hungry and secretly ate all of their bait of grubs and worms. Disgusted and angry, Tukohama and Valakor decided to use Kitava as bait instead. Valakor used his own jawbone as a hook, impaled Kitava on it, and cast both into the sea. Kitava sank to the bottom of the sea, but instead of the fish eating Kitava, it was Kitava who ate all of the fish that nibbled at him, flesh, scales, guts, and all. When Tukohama and Valakor hauled a fat-bellied Kitava back up from the sea, they were even more furious and knew that Kitava must be punished one final time.
Nice. That's a good story. Kitava's a real hungry boy. We're reading these out of order. I started with number 2, and here's number 3, but we'll probably find the first one as well.
Tukohama, our father of war, and Valakor, father of storm, took Kitava to Hinekora, mother of death. They asked her to kill the greedy Kitava, for surely their tribe would starve if Kitava continued to live among them. But Hinekora refused, for death would not teach Kitava the lesson he needed to learn. Instead, Hinekora beat Kitava with a whip woven of her own hair. To Kitava, each strand was a searing lash, and so he wore thousands and thousands of blistering lashes across his back, as Hinekora drove him relentlessly into the darkest corner of the underworld. There she left him to suffer, without water or food, for the rest of eternity. And there Kitava remained, in the darkness of Hinekora's night-clad island, for time beyond measure. There he suffered, waiting for the day that he could return to the world of light, to slake his scorching thirst and satiate his ravening hunger.
No wonder he's mad.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Alright, there's Tukohama's tooth, and the first hunger.
Arohongui, daughter of the moon, was preparing for a feast to celebrate Tukohama's return from his war on the first ones of the Ezamites. Tafor, son of the forest, asked each of the birds to sacrifice one of their kind for the feast. He gave these offerings to Arohongui, who cooked them in a great firestone pit. Seeing all of those plump birds cooking made Kitava very hungry, and he offered to watch them, to make sure they didn't burn while Arohongui rested during the heat of the day. Arohongui thanked Kitava for his kindness, but while she slept, Kitava ate the cooking birds, flesh, bones, gizzards and all. Upon waking, Arohongui was furious to find that Kitava had lied to her, for saying that he would watch the birds when he truly intended to eat them all up. When Tukohama arrived home in his mighty canoe, Arohongui asked him to punish Kitava for his selfish gluttony. Tukohama, our father of war, agreed and pulled the sharpest tooth from his own mouth. He then asked Arohongui and Tafor to hold Kitava fast while he cut Kitava's face with the tooth. 2 slashes that blinded Kitava and formed a bleeding cross upon his face. From that day forth, Kitava would never be able to promise to watch that which he truly intended to consume.
Alright, we now have the story for all 3 of these relics. And also kind of an explanation for what Kitava looks like as well. But we'll get to that later. Oh, I think we're actually ready to fight Kitava. We did all the side quests here, so let's make a portal, talk to the townspeople before we head up here.
Not all slaves believe Dutula's lies. Some I know have managed to steal a ship and are soon to set sail for Namakanui. Hopefully, with these treasures on board, Valakor will bless their voyage and breathe deeply into their sails. No, I'm not going with them. I helped bring this curse down upon Oriath, so I'll help save what little there is left to save. Here, take something, in thanks for your part in preserving the Karui way. For freedom.
The High Priest is dead, yet the object of his devotion remains. There's no doubt you did all right bringing that man-turned-monster to heel, but you weren't able to stop him fishing his master out of a river of blood. Damn. Sorry. I never could get the hang of boosting morale. Didn't seem right to polish the edges off harsh facts. Probably why I never made captain. Still, I've been poking around here for a bit and have turned up Utula's stash. Quite the magpie he was. So here, help yourself. When it comes to hunting a god, I suppose every little bit helps. Innocence blesses your journey.
Ooh, instant recovery and removing poison. I guess we'll keep that one as well. Yeah. 2 to maximum fire resist. Isn't that pretty insane? I guess not. I had no idea it was so easy to get maximum fire resist these days. Oh. I'm gonna keep that.
Remember, we do this for freedom.
Not sure what I want to spend these next passives on. I could get some sockets, but I don't have jewels that I actually want to put in. I guess for now we could head down to this life node. It's a bit of a trek though.
Life is too precious to waste on you. When I'm ready, and not before.
Alright, here we go. Time to defeat Kitava.
Come, ravenous one! Let me devour your heart!
Exactly. You can see the cross on his face as well, where he got slashed with Tukohama's tooth. And he also has abilities that fire in a cross pattern. There's his final form.
The flame of hope may flicker, but it cannot be extinguished.
Apparently we're not strong enough yet, and Sin has to whisk us away.
There is no shame in falling to a god. Shame lies only in refusing to rise again. You shall soar. That much I'm permitted to foresee. You shall ascend to the peak of your loftiest mistake, and from there you shall pluck a single surviving hope from the jaws of immortal despair. A ship sails for Lion Eye's watch not far from here. Be on it. There is no shame.
Alright, just that one voice
I
line.
had to pay the price for my ambitions. Until now.
And that's the end of Act 5. We're now heading back to Rayclast.
I'm Captain Lily Roth, and we sail for Rayclast. Better to live in exile than die on this psychotic bonfire of an island. You want to make it out of here, you'd better get on board. But make it quick, 'cause I ain't got time for tears and regrets.
We set
Remember,
sail.
this ain't no charity run. You owe me. Cast off!
Alright, I'm gonna hold off on starting the next act.
Sold something while you were gone?
I want to get a level 3 Empower. Let's see if I can find one. Where is my trade tab? Empower, supports. Gem level 3, corrupted, yes. Or any. Doesn't need to be corrupted. But it will be. 10 chaos, that's pretty cheap. Because now our spark will go from level 20 to level 22. Plus 8. 14 plus 8. That's a pretty insane spark. I like it. I think I'm ready. I can do another act before I take a break. Alright, we are back in Rayclast. Back in Lion Eye's watch. Let's start Act 6.
Alright, we're safe for the time being. Now let me introduce myself properly. Lily Roth. Yep, I'm one of those Roths. Some call me smuggler, others pirate. Yet I prefer the sound of nautical entrepreneur. Came up with that one myself. So you come see Lily if you need something, or even if you just fancy a good chat with a lovely lady. Don't think I'd be forgetting that favour you owe to me. In fact, now I think of it, there's certainly a way you can be repaying this most considerable debt. You see, those blasted cultists have been plundering the refugee ships trying to escape Oriuth, and if not for my incomparable skill as a sea captain, we'd have met the same fate. But now the drowned dead are washing ashore, and they ain't staying dead. There's been a whole lot of blood, sweat and tears getting these few lucky survivors here in one piece. What sort of captain would I be if I let them get ripped apart by walking corpses? Wipe the Twilight Strand clean of those filthy undead bastards and I'll call us even. Might even throw in a little something extra if you can pull it off.
All right.
Time and tide wait for no man.
Let's get to it. Actually, we should talk to Sin as well.
Despite your best efforts, Beast Slayer, a splinter of hope remains. The very seed that brought my beast into existence. The Dark Ember. Never again shall it birth a life so magnificent as the beast. Yet a residue of that power still lingers. Enough to give us a fighting chance against the ravenous Kitava. How do we obtain this Dark Ember? 3 hearts were silenced. 3 hearts must sing again, one last time. In that final flickering of life, our Savior's seed shall be born. All I need are 3 fine souls with which to stoke the flames. Chevron of Umbra, Inquisitor Maligaro, Doldre the Dark Tongue. 3 spirits of near unfathomable resilience and vigor, freed with the beast's final exhalation. So let us begin the harvest. Chevron has come home to Axiom. We shall give her the warm welcome she sincerely deserves.
Interesting. So I never, when playing this game previously,
Black thaumaturgy? You sure know how to lift my spirits.
I never realized
Hello.
what we're doing here.
Despite your best efforts,
This about the
a splinter of hope remains.
the Dark Ember.
Seed that brought my goodbye.
That's the first time I notice the Dark Ember in any kind of conversation in this game.
First we hear that Oriath has lost its bloody mind, and then you turn up. Doesn't take a scholar to work out how these 2 events might be connected. I don't know what's going on out there, and I probably wouldn't understand it if I saw it with my own 2 eyes. What I do know is this. The world we knew, it's gone. Now we have to do our damnedest to make sure we don't go with it. Nessa. I saw her one night, running out across the coast, headed in the direction of the mudflats. Called out to her, but she didn't even turn her head. Maybe she couldn't hear me. Maybe she didn't want to. I don't bloody know. I tried to run after her, but she'd vanished into the darkness before my feet had barely touched the sand. So I tracked her, all the way to the mudflats, and that's when her tracks, they just stopped. No sign of meeting someone or something. No sign of a struggle. It's like one moment she was running and the next, gone. Look, I've heard some things about what you've done. Things that beg a belief. Now you can do this, please. Find Nessa. Bring her back to us.
Alright, Nessa has gone missing. We have to find her.
Now there's a pair of eyes I could never forget. If the tales are true, those peepers of yours have seen all the wonders of Rayclast by now. And a few things they likely wish they hadn't. Oh, and no need for us to speak of Oriath. My ears are brimful with the sorrows these wretched companions of yours have been spilling. Now, I'm sure you've noticed that Lion Ice Watch has seen better days. Our once bubbling township has, alas, become a brooding quagmire of gloom and despair. I blame the unrelenting weather. As you know, I am both a humanitarian and a strong believer in the soul-sustaining power of story. Back when I was still captain of the Merry Gull, many days at sea afforded me time to work on my thespian aspirations. I wrote a theatrical epic, a one-man show entitled Cedric and the Buxom Stranger. I sealed the manuscript inside a roll of oiled leather and stashed it in the hold for safekeeping. Perhaps you could salvage it for me from that tidal island upon which my poor ship came to rest. Who knows? Maybe we can bring some joy back to Lion Eye's Watch with a bit of live entertainment.
So back in Act 1, we got the medicine chest from his ship, and now he wants us to go back for his manuscripts. These guys are irrelevant to the story. They are side content.
You're not the most. Been an honor.
I make my own luck. Thank you.
Let's clear the Twilight Strand.
I was so arrogant when I first awoke here. I had so much to learn. When I'm ready, and not before.
Ready, exile? It is time to hunt!
Oh, hi, Einar.
That was a hunt you will not soon forget. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, there's no voice acting on this message in a bottle. Rip. Alright, I'm gonna pause the clarity gem now. We don't need any more mana regen from this. Maybe this will be the first breach I can stabilize on this character. I'm not sure if it's going to give me enough breach monsters though. I think we can do it. Unless they just completely stop spawning. Oh, we got it. Just barely. I'll grab the graft item. We can maybe upgrade our graft item level a bit. Did I clear it? No, I think there's more monsters over here. There we go.
A wretched sight. So many drowned Oriathans cast into undeath. You freed them from their torment, and I'm sure they'd be grateful. Here, that little something extra I were talking about. Though the sea takes away, it gives back in greater measure. While you be skulking about, I've managed to do a bit of hunting on my own. Got a hole full of baubles and trinkets here, which I managed to, procure. Take a look. You might find something particularly naughty to help you on your life's voyage.
She now becomes the gem vendor. This is the first place you can actually buy all the gems from a single vendor. Siosa had a lot of them, but not all, I think.
Time and tide wait for no man.
That would just make life complicated.
Alright, let's continue. We're gonna get Bestel's manuscripts.
Hopefully, I can learn from my mistakes this time.
And we're now fighting the minions of Tukohama. How's my resist, actually? Oh, 72. So we're not quite capped, but pretty close to it. Oh, no voice acting on that. A stranger's kiss on a moonlit night. Dost thou believe in love at first sight?
Marvelous. Oh, yes, yes, it's all here. Act 1, Scene 1. Along the shoreline, the beach grass sways, a blazing sun sinks neath sparkling bay. Oh, strange be the night when the drowned dead rise, and a pale moon ascends upon cold skies. The stranger still is lost to me, those silken pillows upon which I lay at sea. Moody, atmospheric, not as funny as I remember. But I'm sure it gets better in Act 2. Regardless, you have my thanks. Please, take something for your efforts. And next time you're in town, do come and see the show. I'll leave your name at the door. If I can salvage a door from somewhere, that is.
Alright, let's ask him about the Brine King as well.
You won't find a sailor that doesn't whisper a quiet prayer to the Brine King before casting off. In fact, under the maddening radiance of a full moon, the more superstitious captains would drown some poor slave or failed mutineer, just to keep old Tsoagoth happy. No, that wasn't a sneeze. That's the fish god's old Asmerian name. It's considered foul luck to speak it on board a ship. A keel-hauling offence.
Alright, the Brine King will become relevant soon enough. Let's go through the mudflats and look for Nessa. The gate is locked, but it appears to be missing an eye. I see Nessa on the minimap up here. The Dishonored Queen dropped the Eye of Conquest. What's up, Nessa?
He did this to me! The King of Brine. And he wants me to be... Oh God. Please. I don't know how I'm doing this, nor if I may again. Help me. Help us before he... Before...
Now Nessa's a mermaid. And the Brine King did this.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Alright, let's access the Kauri Fortress. And I believe we're about to face Tukohama.
Let me teach you the laws of war.
Tukohama! The soil wants for your blood no more. I am Sin, thief of virtue, and it is mine to take what I will from the defeated, to make a gift of it to the victorious. Alas, your mortal frame cannot withstand the unfettered fire of deism. It would turn your blood to mist and scorch your precious flesh black. So choose modestly and choose wisely, for there is much more at stake here than your little hopes and dreams.
It's a bit weird that he introduces himself again.
Exquisite.
We've already met you multiple times. Well, we can now steal god powers by slaying the gods. For now, we only have Tukohama's power, which gives us additional physical damage reduction per second you've been stationary, up to a maximum of 9%. I'm gonna take this node and actually get capped on all resists. Wait, was there a lore item or anything in here? No, there's not. Oh, I guess we could maybe ask some follow-up questions about Tukohama or the Pantheon thing in general. Let's head back to town, though.
You've seen Nessa. Talk to her. Oh, that's more than I dared hope for, true.
Wait, what is happening? The game crashed. What? No. That's the first crash I've had in, well, this entire league, I think. Let's load back in. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
You've killed the Karui war god. Can you kill a god? Look, I can't even begin to understand what you've just done. Vestal will be able to put our gratitude into words more fitting of a legend. Me, I'll work with what I know. A solid reward for a damn fine deed.
We could get that Nessa dialogue again. I wonder if it's a reproducible crash.
Still alive, are we?
I guess we'll find out.
You've seen Nessa. Talk to her. Oh, that's more than I dared hope for, truth be told. This change she's going through, this curse the so-called Brine King has put on her, it can be broken. I know it. You've got to keep going. Follow her trail before it gets any colder. Make your way along the coast, the ship graveyard, even Mervale's cave if you must. By my reckoning, this king's not the sort to venture far from his briny bed.
Alright.
Farewell.
It didn't crash the second time, that's good.
Welcome. Stay sharp out there.
I wanted to talk to Sin as well.
May humanity flourish.
The rise of the gods.
I shall put this simply, for in truth, everything comes down to the simple act of planting a seed in the ground. The gods are rising because you slew the one creature that prevented them from doing so. Your name for it is the Beast. It was I who planted the seed in the rich soil beneath Highgate, who nurtured it, who watched it bloom into maturity, even as I succumbed to its mollifying powers. We gods, We were driven into slumbering darkness, to dream away eternity whilst the gentle beast watched over us. I would desire that we return to that blissful state. But my brothers and sisters of deism shall never submit to banishment. They have tasted freedom once more, and they shall not let go of this world until it is pried from their cold, dead hands.
I did not know that. The fact that we killed the beast is why we are now able to face gods. Why the gods woke up from their slumber.
The beast was never a cruel master. It didn't want to destroy, to corrupt, to terrorize. It simply existed to exist. I made it that way. Unfortunately, in neglecting to provide it with ambition, I made it vulnerable to the ambitions of others. Queen Atziri and Doriani, Emperor Chittis and Malachi. Others even before them. I created a beast that would free humanity from the tyranny of the gods. Yet all I really did was provide the perfect tool with which humanity could tyrannize itself.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Remember, humanity needs us.
Really cool.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Alright, we're heading to the prison to kill Chevron right now. And then on the other side we can look for Nessa. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. Hey, Sully. Indeed. Morning.
I must have jinxed myself. Here we go again.
Yep, we're back in jail. Must have jinxed ourselves. This time the prison has a tower, or rather, it probably had the tower all along, but we didn't climb the tower last time because we went through the dungeons and killed Brutus instead.
Good eye, exile.
And there's Nico snorting sulfite again. We're gonna ignore Gwenon.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Honestly, I kind of wish there was a way to play through the story without all these past League mechanics cluttering the campaign levels.
Good eye, exile.
Some of the Warden's Chamber and Rooftop are connected. Surely it was always there. Yeah. Alright, we're on the roof. And there's Brutus again.
On my life and my work, I shall not suffer this humiliation again!
Reassembled Brutus. And then they merge.
It seems that those who don't learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them.
The witch is so sassy.
And so it begins. My ethereal veins now run with dark ambition. Let's turn that trickle into a torrent. Let's harvest ourselves a Grand Inquisitor. Just as Chevron's spirit chose to return to comfortable climes, Maligaro's essence once again dwells in his very own chamber of sins. Though I hasten to add that Maligaro's sins are not my sins. I prefer transgressions of a more natural order than does he. I'd carry you to Frisia if I could, yet I expended too much of myself when I snatched you from the jaws of Kitava. You will need to find your own path, as will I. Make the journey, and please survive it. We too have much work left to do.
This world is dull and ugly. An imperfect feast of sights, feelings, and smells that repulse and depress. Yet amongst this deformity I have found my sublime calling. This world may be abominable, but to an extent I can be its savior. I have been gifted with a special sight. Before me lies a blueprint of perfection, a kind of hidden beauty within skin, muscles, tendons, and organs. With a tempered hand and a sharpened blade, I will refashion, reshape, and rebirth this world. My obligation is immense, something that will, in all likelihood, consume my life. I cannot rest. My calling energizes me. Such is an artist's curse and compulsion.
Wow. She just has a passion for reassembling corpses. Alright, let's head back to town. Surely there's some new dialogue now.
Who'd have thought those bleating bastards would go and find religion, eh? Now there's nothing quite so sure to spoil a man's appetite than an ecclesiastical debate come supper time. Yet this goatman god, this Aberath, seems fair determined to mix his morsels with his spiritual enlightenments. To put no finer point on it, when the goatmen find him a soft pink human or two as divine sacrifice, he eats them, meat, soul, and all. Well, that's what the legends say.
Chevronenstein, indeed. Man, I want to watch the new Frankenstein movie.
What have you?
At some point.
Good work clearing another path through Axiom Prison. I'm starting to think those stories I've heard about you might be true. With the road to the Frisian forest clear again, I trekked through to the forests beyond to see if the strangeness we're seeing on the coast is also happening inland. What I saw nearly froze my heart solid. The animals there, poor wretches, overtaken by some sort of parasite. As close as I can reckon, they're like termites, burrowing into flesh and mind instead of wood. If I'm right, there'll be a nest somewhere, and a queen. If you can find it, destroy it. Those parasites aren't something we want to see around here anytime soon. Farewell.
Alright, so we have a couple of new clues to optional objectives. We want to kill Abarath, the Cloven One, and the Puppet Mistress, who is putting parasites in all the animals.
May humanity flourish.
Let's ask Sin about both of them.
I have another deity in mind who could be persuaded to donate a little essence to your ongoing edification. Abarath, a deranged old goat with a thirst for human souls, whose cloven hooves now stand astride the old prisoner's road. Have you ever tasted a soul, Beastslayer? No, I imagine not. The poets will speak of sweet souls, bitter souls, enlightened souls, and twisted souls. You know what most of them taste like, really. Regret, with a lingering aftertaste of should have known better. The Puppet Mistress was a revered matriarch who nurtured her tribe into greatness through love, peace, and fecundity. That is, until her children were slaughtered by Tukohama's brave warriors. Dissolution and desperation, they do troubling things to the spirit. And given enough time, what one believes, one becomes.
Huh. Oh, there's more about both of them.
A maggot that festers and writhes in the fetid mud of the wettest lands, Rislatha, the white worm that corrupts the very earth while her heart yearns to replenish her slaughtered brood. Hers was a prolific tribe once, fat with peace and fecund with love. Then Tukohama's fire swept across her sacred land, and her children were butchered by the madness of war. Now the Immortal Mother has one waking thought. She will also ensure that her children are never harmed again. How? By making everyone's children her children. A renowned alchemist, eroded by his lust for distilled spirits, and not the alcoholic kind. Abarath the Scholar King, dancing upon a stage of chemicals and fire. He used his knowledge to burn away the flesh so as to liquidate the life force within. A libation he consumed with both frequency and alacrity. It started with animals, goats specifically, and thus his own cruelty became his curse. The Scholar King became the Cloven One, quaffer of souls. Some say he turned to the dram of man in order to cure himself. I believe his thirst simply grew with his burgeoning immortality. And perhaps he still retains some of his scholarly nature, for he seemed fair determined to share his hard-won wisdom. He took himself a princess, a lovely thing from a local tribe, and 9 months later she gave birth to something rather unlovely. The Fawn, as wild and wicked as the shaggy god himself. Schooled in his father's ways, the Fawn would carry off many more virgins in his time. And thus, the race of goatmen found their footing.
Huh. So that's how the Goatmen came to be. Interesting.
Remember, humanity needs us.
That's another little tidbit that I never knew about. Oh, don't have any more life nodes nearby, do I? TMI. Wow. We could go for tireless, actually. Let's do that.
When I'm ready, and not before.
The Western Forest. I want to go this way first, because we want to find Abarath over here.
Aberrath! At last, your thirst is quenched. Good souls were hard enough to come by without that parched old goat drinking his fill. You have done humanity a noble service.
Between alchemy and thaumaturgy, I'll bet on thaumaturgy every time.
Wait, why is this... Why are these ones red? Oh, upgrade effects do not apply until the quest An End to Hunger is completed. I see. I didn't realize that pantheons were now account-wide. They used to be tied to the character, I believe. But I still need to actually get to endgame maps before I get the benefits. That's cool. Good quality of life feature. It was kind of annoying having to capture the pantheons every time you make a new character.
The old goat's turned up his tootsies, has he? Oh, wait! I feel a poem coming on. Through the bleating flock our exile did wade, over hoof and horn and goat blood sprayed, until at last an audience with old King Billy, or the Cloven One, or Aberrath, and other names just as silly. Dine with me, friend, old Billy did growl. Feed me your soul, feed me it now. Our exile just smiled and gutted that goat, so that not one more soul would get stuffed down his old throat. Honestly, you wouldn't believe how hard it is to find a good rhyme for goat exile.
Ever since Mark started doing quality of life patches, a lot of annoying stuff has been removed. Yeah, that's good.
Not right now.
Holy shit, this is an incredible amulet for the campaign. 70% cast speed, 100 max life. Oh well. That might even be sellable, I don't know. Actually, it's probably super easy to get. Oh, it is sellable. That's crazy. How did I find a sellable item in the campaign?
Oh.
I can't do it from here, though. I'll put it over here. I'll sell it later.
Time and tide wait for no man.
That's a tier 1 cast speed roll. Alright, we continue onward towards the Puppet Mistress. Yeah, I don't know why tier 1 cast speed can roll on that item level, but I'll take it. Actually, I do like that. I like that you can get some of the top tiers at lower level. That used to be one of the things I loved about Diablo 2, that you could actually find really good items while leveling the character. And that they didn't artificially inflate the stats to a ridiculous degree on higher levels.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Oh, there's a crafting recipe in here that I missed. This is where Alira used to be. Now there's just a bunch of zombies. Classic for D2 is finding a ring in Act 2 or 3 and you'll never replace it. Yeah. There are a few items that you just... that are just endgame items, basically, that you can find super early. Let's find the waypoint before heading up towards the wetlands. I'll just leave a portal there. There's the waypoint.
Bring the beast in my sights, exile. We will be best friends, beast, until we slaughter you.
Einar is such a clown. The wetlands have become infested with parasites. And we're about to find the source of that infestation.
Ritslava! Release this land to the will of its true children. The Asmeri believed that, one day, this world of ours would collapse under the weight of Ritslava's offspring. A frightening thought, and thankfully, a mistaken one.
If I ever attain divinity, I must make sure I don't end up like her.
Another damn god, you say? Yeah, that figures. A primitive deity from a primitive time, crawling up out of the dirt with a view to enslaving us all with its creeping, bloody offspring. I think we could all do without gods like that. So here, take something for the road ahead. The way things are going, it'll be a tough one. Farewell.
That would just make life complicated.
I wonder what he has to say about the puppet mistress.
Greetings.
Oh, never mind, that's gone now.
Greetings.
There was something about the puppet mistress just now, but it's gone.
Stay sharp out there.
What about the Brine King?
Still alive, are we? Never took much stock in the stories Lily told. Didn't sit right. Those full moon sacrifices her and her ilk would do out on the open water. But now, in light of everything, I'm obliged to reconsider. If it meant Nessa might be spared the attentions of that wretched Brine King, I'd even be inclined to slit a mutineering throat or two myself. Stay sharp out there.
I need more mana.
I'm gonna capture this red beast. Oh, my lightning golem died.
You are well prepared for the
Let's
end.
get it back.
This is a fine capture. We will be best friends, beast, until we slaughter you.
Food for the machine.
That's a lot of gem levels. I'll take that.
Food for the machine.
Am I going the wrong way? Yeah, I am. It's down here. Just skip half of Act 6 and 7 now. Yeah, we could just go to the crossroads. If we keep heading east, surely. Alright, so we're back in the Cavern of Anger.
The Brand King. His time has almost come. Then hope will be... I will be gone. Please, take the Black Flag. It once fluttered from the mast of the Black Crest, Whalem Roth's ship. Throw it into the flames of the beacon. It's your only chance of reaching me, of turning this tide. The king can't keep secrets like this from me any longer. It's just the way of things. Find me, please, before...
Surely. Alright, so we've taken the Black Flag. Why does the Black Flag do anything, though? Let me read this again. Throw it into the flames of the beacon. It's your only chance of reaching me. Huh. I don't really understand how, like, the mechanics of that. Why does throwing the Black Flag into the beacon do anything? Yeah, maybe we can talk to Whalem Roth when he arrives. It just sounds oddly specific. But maybe it's a signal that he has agreed upon with someone else. Like that color of smoke or something. That could be the case.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Seems a bit wasteful to burn a flag, though. Surely there's other ways to produce the same type of smoke. I see an entrance down there, but... Okay, I guess I am supposed to go down there. Well, witch that caused a pillar of black smoke to rise above the Sarn slums. Yeah. That man you just eliminated, that was the Maelstrom. I mean Brand King. Imagine Diana commentating her accomplishments in this game. That would be a fun crossover. Really bizarre, but still fun. Dying to a pinnacle boss. Now, don't be down. Oh, not voice acted.
Good eye, exile.
Good eye, exile. Let me get that orb of binding. I never rolled proper flasks, actually. I'm still using the first Quicksilver flask I got from level 4. And then a second one that dropped. Or maybe it was a quest reward. But I never rolled proper rolls on them. Oh well. We're not trying to go fast here anyway. We're trying to explore the story. No voice. Kind of a shame. I wish they'd voiced all of the lore objects. Especially these ones right here might be relevant to what's going on, but I am too lazy to read them. Maybe they'd shed some insight into the... or shed some light on or provide some insight into how this beacon works and what's going on with it. And why it has such an elaborate mechanism for loading the fuel. It's the same kind of stuff you would see in the labyrinth. Yeah, you have to light it as well. I don't think it's being kept alive by anyone else. We have to load the fuel from 2 sides and then light it manually. You actually interact with the beacon twice. Once to light it, and then once to throw the black flag into it, I guess. Yeah, the ignition switch. And then we throw the black flag in. And the smoke actually turns red.
So you're the shite that's gone and summoned me to the beacon, eh? Damn it all. Rules is rules, and now I'm bound to you. The legendary Whalem Roth, captain of the Black Crest, cursed to be the undead slave of some lowly outcast by the looks of it. You got an ass for a brain in a tick skull of yours? Of course I'll ferry you to the Brine King's bloody reef. I'd be wanting to discharge this accursed duty and get back to me afterlife. It's not right. Not natural being above water without a beating heart in me chest. So get yourself aboard and be quick about it.
Well, that explains most of my questions about why the black flag and stuff. It's basically voodoo. We're summoning him and he's an undead servant. And we had to use a part of his ship to summon him. Never realized he's undead. Me neither.
Don't think I'm going to be bawling and chaining after your sorry ass once our journey to the reef is done.
I've actually never listened to his voice acting at all. Previous playthroughs, I just clicked past them really quickly. I didn't even know he had that silly accent.
Just reshape the self.
Right, well on with it then. Go find yourself a salty sovereign to the throne. Fool's errand, if you ask me. Old Bryony will gut you like a fish, but at least with you dead in the water, I'll be free to get on with me own voyage. So off you go, matey.
Gut you like a fish. Let's ask him about the Brine King as well.
Lord of Salt and Scales, what we used to call him. They say when the gods got the boot from our lands, that monstrosity went to sleep down in the deep. dream the kind of dreams that cause all sorts of guild abominations to rise up, to plague and hunt us for what he thinks we must have done to him. Was a time we got ordered to hunt them things near extinction, free the trade routes from old Briney's tyranny. Even so, not a sailor worth his salt who won't sacrifice a lousy deckhand or two by light of the full moon just to keep that overgrown crab slumbering in the Oriathan trench. If he's risen again, you bet your bloody ass we're all buggered.
Nice.
When I'm ready, and not before.
So I wonder if Lily will say anything about me using her father like that. We'll have a chat with her afterwards. A shrine to the Brine King. Oh Lord of Salt and Scale. Damn it, it's not voice acted. See, I would read the stuff that's not voice acted, but I couldn't do it justice. It would just be embarrassing. When there's so much great voice acting in this game.
So courageous. Such a fine example of womanhood. I simply knew you wouldn't disappoint me. Or my husband. You see, His Majesty could never be satiated on his wedding day by one bride alone. Thank you, my new sister.
He's holding her head through a tentacle. Like a puppet. In Act 1 we killed the Dweller of the Deep, but this is the real Granddaddy Crab.
Born of ocean's mire, and death washed clean of dark desire. And thus the Lord of Salt and Scale sinks to feed the fishes that flit amongst the ruins of Soartha. Come and jest of his divine juices while they are all washed away.
It's nice of him to keep the waves away.
Divinity. So much stronger than the others. I must have more.
Oh no, the witch is getting power hungry. Yeah, imagine drowning. Do they talk about what happens to Nessa?
Yes.
He doesn't. Maybe back in Line Eye's Watch, maybe someone will say something about Nessa being gone. But this is the end of Act 6.
How did you? You're still breathing. Bloody barnacles on me arse! You, my new friend, are a legend of the high seas to behold. I tell you what, I've already done my bit getting you here, but if you're looking to sail onto Frisia, me and the Black Crest would be honored to take ya.
Hold that thoughts. I'm gonna go back to town and talk to Tarkway maybe, or Bestel, about Nessa, if possible.
I'd hoped for a chance
There
to
we
see
go.
Nessa again. Dreamed it like some poor bloody child believing in fairy tales. No, she's not one of us anymore. But at least she's not like Mervale either. Can't overlook a mercy like that. Who knows? Perhaps Nessa is better off this way. Not like this is much of a home to come back to anyway. Look, I know you did what you could. And for that, you'll always have my thanks. Stay sharp out there.
Clearly the old Brine King wasn't worth his salt. A fish out of water, if ever there was. But, I suppose, as someone wise once said, you can't teach a crab to walk straight. Too much? Yeah, be honest with you. All this fishy mirth is me just swimming around a tricky topic. Nessa. She's not coming back to us, is she? Can't say I'm surprised. What with everything she's been through, what she's become. I wish her all the happiness she can find out there in the sea. More than she could muster on this God's awful land of ours.
Wait. Is she still alive but a free mermaid now? That's what his dialogue would imply, but I'm pretty sure she's just dead. She was a part of the Brine King. I never saw her actually leave the Brine King. Surely she's not a mermaid in the sea.
The Black Crest. She lives again. And me granddaddy. Still can't believe Mervale did that to him.
Oh, it was her granddad.
At least his spirit roams free once again. Wonder if he'll come and visit his favourite granddaughter one more time. Anyways, with the Brine King gone, you've done a fine thing for us seafarers. The waters won't no longer pander to the whim of an overgrown, bloody crustacean. And damn me if I don't feel a stirring in me loins. It's the ocean. Calling. Like a lust-starved lover. But for now, bugger it all. I'll be sticking about Lion Eye's watch until I get me a new ship. Don't feel sorry for me. With me womanly wiles as sharp as they are, I'll be having Tarkley help me pass the time. Just you see. Time and tide, wait.
Okay. Alright, let's sail to Act 7.
Hold on to your cockles, me hearty. The sea betwixt here and Frisia be the most ill-tempered there is. Here's hoping you've as much steel in your gizzard as you seem to in your heart. Cast off!
Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break here before resuming. I need to use the bathroom and get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back, and we're starting Act 7 immediately.
Judging by that rather curious ship and its aberrant captain, I imagine you had rather an interesting voyage here. Now, Inquisitor Maligaro. We must have his soul. He has most certainly returned to his old haunt, yet his manifestations are like wisps on the wind. There one moment, gone the next. While I am familiar with the phantasmal trails and tributaries that filigree this reality, Maligaro's exact whereabouts eludes me. You should speak with these desperates who cling to this broken bridge, that young Templar scholar in particular. Their mundane knowledge must provide where my enlightened sapience cannot. Goodbye.
What'll I do now? This here broken bridge speaks to me some. A fair place to rest my old bones for a bit. And tell you what, with all this sunlight and fresh air, I can feel the calling forth of the poetic muse beneath me trousers. Been a long time since I felt this here compass point in any direction. Now, speaking of navigations and the like, a long time ago, I had me a nice collection of riches stuffed away in a lockbox. Being the stupid ass that I am, I buried the thing one eve when I was high in my cups. Can't for the death of me remember where except I knew it was near this broken bridge. The box has a silver locket in it. It holds the portrait of my late wife, Meredith. It's the last thing I have in this world to remember her by. If you happen across my lockbox in your travels, I'd be appreciating of its return.
What does he think of Lily?
I know Lily be missing me something great, and it cuts me deep not to go visit the lass. Thing is, I reckon she should remember me as I was, not retch at the sight of the spectre I be now. Let the legend live on in her mind, I say. Fair bugger maid, good to see you.
He looks pretty human, though. He doesn't look like a ghost.
Greetings.
Oh, let's ask about the origins of the gods.
There was a time before the beast, bathed in the shadows of lost memory, when men and women like you could ascend. Through rareness of quality and the adoration of their people, these few could reach out into the quickening mists of immortality and grasp the power of godhood. Mind you, transcendence is never easy. Like the pains of childbirth, it reeks of agony, tragedy, and sacrifice. The sacrifice most often being of one's humanity. That is simply the way of it. Those of us who seek the immortal throne live long enough to see ourselves become truly monstrous.
So the gods are basically just people that transcended.
Goodbye.
Imagine he's supposed to be spectral, but it's been forever bugged and no one knows it's actually bugged. Or maybe they just forgot. Not even a bug, just a missing feature.
Ah, yes. You do seem to have a penchant for presenting yourself when times are at their most perplexing. It would seem that our Almighty has forsaken us. False deities from ages past now rise and ravage, while our blessed innocence remains as silent as the stones at my feet. So much for Templar propaganda, eh? Well, I suppose if we are to fend for ourselves, then I should answer your troubling arrival with our own most pressing tribulation. The relic that washed ashore and started all the chaos. It was covered in ancient Val inscriptions. The symbols were much weathered, making them challenging to translate. Yet I did my best. The inscriptions spoke of the god Ralakesh. If this object somehow housed the spirit of that many-faced monstrosity, then I fear we are all in danger. Ralakesh was renowned for his penchant for subjugation and control. Please, I urge you to destroy this god before his strength and dominance grow insurmountable. Nip this divine threat in the bud, as it were. Our poor friend, Grust, has likely become Ralakesh's avatar in this world. At least his recent behavior would indicate as much. If you could see to Grust's passing, Ralakesh will be forced to retreat into the relic. Destroy the relic, and perhaps you will also destroy the god.
Poor Grust has become Ralakesh.
Fare
Okay.
you well.
You arrive. The Great Spirit spoke in my dreams, told me that darkness would again drown our lands, and you, exile, would walk before the flood. But what is this? You are not alone. A shade, a memory, older even than... No, older than spirit? Fear grips my throat. I shake, but the spirit drapes a warming cloak upon my shoulders. This ancient ghost that follows you, it has the trust of the spirit, and if the spirit trusts, then I trust. Be well.
Turn your back for the barest moment and Rayclast bites you in the proverbial. I imagine that's how you're feeling upon visiting us this time. It's how I feel about now. I'm afraid that the Inquisitor's spirit has indeed returned to the Chamber of Sins. Yet while you won't encounter Meligaro by wandering his halls, I do perhaps know how you can find him. Whilst investigating the Fell Shrine, I learned of the existence of a map, forged by Meligaro from his own viscera. This map allowed him to transfer his spirit into another form of existence, an existential safe house to which he could retreat should death ever attempt to take him. Understanding the map's purpose, Vol tried to destroy it, to no avail. So he locked it away deep within the ruins of Frisia Cathedral. Find that map and place it upon the Reverie device in Meligaro's old laboratory. And when you step over that threshold, expect the very worst.
Wow, okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Meligaro apparently forged a map using his own entrails or guts that would preserve his spirit if he died and let him retreat to there. Vol tried to destroy it, but couldn't.
Oops, clumsy me.
All these rotten rattlers were brought down by your hand. Will they return the favor?
Man, I love the Delirium voice as well. I hope we get a lot more Delirium during this playthrough, because there's a lot of good one-liners in there. And a lot of them are references to other voice lines from other characters, but they get kind of twisted. Okay, we found the silver lockets for Whalem.
When I'm ready, and not before.
I think at one point the Delirium voice also says, you are captured, stupid beast. Just like Einar, but in this case, I'm the stupid beast. Will this breach stabilize, I wonder? We almost had it. Don't think we'll get it though. Nope. I'm gonna end the delirium as well. Currency... Crafts. Alright, let's head down to the Fell Shrine. I'm gonna see if there's some lore objects in here. No.
When I'm ready, and not before.
I feel like there's fewer environmental lore objects in part 2, so from Act 6 and onward. There's been some, but not as much as in the earlier acts.
Me look it! Oh, me darling, me beautiful Meredith. How I miss your shuddering bosoms, your quivering thighs. She had a heart to melt an iceberg, and teats the size of a... Ooh. Well, anyway, I thank you greatly. Please, whatever else be in that lockbox, take your pick from it. This locket be the only treasure I need.
I might take a quartz flask here, actually. I'll probably still just forget to use it, though. I've not been using my flasks at all, almost. We could also get rid of this. So he says take anything from the lockbox. The lockbox has 7 flasks in it, but you only get to pick one. Oh yeah, that's a big plot hole. Take anything, but only one of them. Only one of the anythings. Immersion ruined. Hang on, we can craft this further. That's a much better Quicksilver. I had these flasks on my first character early on. I forgot to I forgot that I had them. Doesn't really matter what I get. Tireless.
I believe the sea. Bye.
Alva's also not important. Incursion is side content, not part of the story. Although it does provide some background regarding the Val. After I've done all 10 acts, I might actually go through some of the side content and yeah, learn some more. Learn some more lore from the side content and end game stuff. Like the whole Atlas mechanic and what's been going on in there with the Conquerors and Zana, all of that's pretty important.
And not before.
For the machine.
Alright, we're in the Feldshrine Ruins, also known as the Crypts.
Just for me.
We have found Maligaro's map.
The energy of visions made tangible. How curious.
Alva's important in PoE 2 story. Oh, I didn't know that. I've still not even tried PoE 2. I'm looking forward to playing it when it's actually out of early access and all the acts are in. I'll probably do the same kind of deal with PoE 2 as what I'm doing right here. Just do a full story playthrough and actually pay attention. I'll probably do that as my first playthrough of PoE 2, actually.
I imagine it was no easy feat, removing that abomination from its tomb. The horrors that must still lurk beneath the Fell Shrine. Well, I suppose you'll be meeting abominations aplenty where you're going next. Place that map upon Maligaro's reverie device, and remember, hope for the worst. At least then you'll be partially prepared for what's to come.
Hope for the worst. Good advice.
That would just make life complicated.
They did a much better job on story for the second one. Almost feels like you want to
secrets hidden in these shadows.
Want to do that either way. I feel like they did a really good job on this one, so I'm excited if you think PoE 2 is even better story-wise.
Hello to you, great dream.
Oh, hello, Silk. Silk is a real weirdo.
We have woven a tale together in days past. Perhaps we shall again. We make mighty stories, you and I. And now I have daunting task before me, the last in my great journey. Near to us, cast in shadow, a monster awaits. Black Death is his name. A beauteous eight-leg, twisted grotesque by the master of these loathsome halls. I wish to give this eight-leg the merciful peace he deserves, and to save what is still beautiful, the elixir that only Black Death can make. Please, will you find him? Kill this Black Death. Take the eight-leg's venom for me. I may be fearsome warrior, but Black Death's master has made him into a thing more monstrous than even I can best. Who knows? Perhaps Black Death is too strong even for you.
Yep. My interest in this world is dwindling. Aw, why isn't Maligaro's manifesto voiced? Maligaro's manifesto would have been great. There's a lot of voice acted Maligaro stuff. I guess they couldn't get the voice actor back for that one. Certain maps can only be rendered in the most vivid of viscera.
This place flows forth from a dark mind, thought by thought.
I find it kind of hilarious that Alva shows up inside of Maligaro's Nightmare Realm. No wonder it's lost. It's in the middle of Maligaro's viscera. So the sounds we hear in the ambience are the sounds of his intestines, probably, yeah.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Oh, I don't have bleed removal. I should probably get bleed removal before I do crew lab. Just in case. I could just beast craft a flask, I guess. Oh, hi, Maligaro. That was Black Death. The thing that Silk mentioned. Oh, what transcends space and time, just to tell you. Ah, there you are. Yeah.
I didn't give you enough credit, Maligaro. This place, this energy. I've learned something new.
The witch is so enthusiastic about all the dark things in this game.
Our brutal construction nears completion, and now only the wretched Dodri Darktongue remains. Unlike her compeers who, in undeath, have yearned for the familiar, Dodri appears drawn to the old wounds of calamity. The cataclysm took San and left much that a parasite like Dodri might enjoy. I shall meet you in San, where I hope you shall make swift and bloody work of that foul hag.
Alright. I never really noticed that we're on a mission to kill those three. On a mission from Sin to kill those three. Dodra, Maligaro, and Chevron.
The Black Venom. Oh, great dreamer who has done great deeds. I shall see to it that my queen rewards you with honor and mercy when she rises up to claim what is hers. Yes, this elixir, so aged and potent, shall be life-giving draught that she sips upon first waking. It is my gift to her, my wedding gift. Great dreamer, you will be wrapped in silken finery and made welcome at our wedding feast. Guest of honor. And oh, what a feast we all shall enjoy.
Yeah, Silk is weird.
My great journey led me to places of great power beyond even your stories, great dreamer. I am carried on legs and webs and shadows. That is all you can know for now.
It's my lucky day.
No, it's not. I'm out of here.
The path to justice is slender and perfidious, fraught with missteps of ambition and despair, egotism and doubt. Should you choose this road, beware those who would waylay your hopes and disembowel your dreams. Remain sure and remain true.
The guy obsessed with spiders is called Silk. Yeah, that's suspicious.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Food for the machine.
We have this node now. We could just do, Max life. I actually don't have life modifiers on this, do I? Which means I could do 10% more max life. No, wait, not that one. 15% increased if there are no life modifiers on body armor.
Pretty little rocks, just for me.
Just for you.
Good eye, exile.
This time we can actually use a secret passage here. Did I miss any lore objects up here? No, there just aren't any. Okay. Oh, I remember when we were in Act 2, I commented that we couldn't open this vault. I get it now. This is the secret passage. Never noticed that detail before. The white beast is a skeleton now. I barely saw him because of the breach, though.
Why do they always resort to fire?
Ode to Relikesh. Aww. Not voice acted. Why did they get lazy with the voice acting in the second part? That's so sad. Oh, it's time to kill Groost, Lord of the Forests. That was quick.
Relikesh! Turn away the tyrant's face, and kingdom end without a trace. When you try to control everything, you ultimately control nothing. Relikesh has never quite been able to grasp that concept.
You could have been anybody, Relikesh. And you chose Roost?
We'll take Relikesh's Pantheon for now, actually, because the bleeds can be annoying. Alright, I'm gonna head back to town and see what they have to say.
Into the most dreaded of thickets you must go, I'm afraid. For there Gruthkul the Despairing sulks and schemes. The Val laid waste to her kingdom, and placed her slaughtered children at her feet. Grief enveloped Gruthkul, transformed her, flooded her mind with a singular thought, to share her suffering with those who had murdered her daughters. Though she has returned, her sanity has not. There is no fury like a mother bereaved.
Huh.
I wonder if Gruthkul would still grieve for her children if she knew the truth. The Spinner of Shadows had no aspirations until Gruthkul's daughters plotted against her. They saw her power over the people, her miraculous potions, her intoxicating lusts. They feared Arakali, thought she might threaten their legacy. Yet that's the curious thing about spiders. They only leave their web when you force them to. A temptress and a predator. Val legends say she crawled up from the blackest of pits during the creation of the world. No, her beginnings were far more mundane. A mortal harlot whose endless lust for loin and lecherous delight saw her transformed into the very image of her dark desires. The Spinner of Shadows, they once called her. She sees herself as a regular goddess of love, and has the romantically forged temple to prove it. That's where you'll find her. Yet there's little romance to the lady herself. At least, I doubt the corpses that now embrace her carapace would think so. Remember, humanity...
That offers some context for why silk loves her so much, at least.
I be missing me granddaughter something terrible. You know, I used to tell Lily bedtime stories till she fell asleep in me arms. She loved the ones about Kishara, a tough-as-nails Val lassie, said to have explored every coast, cove and bay of this blasted continent with the help of her star. Some nifty artifact she nabbed from somewhere on her first voyage. Young Lily, she were fascinated by Kishara's star. Said to be fair humming with thaumaturgy, able to guide its mistress wherever she be fixing to journey. Methinks me granddaughter liked to imagine that one day she'd hold the star in her hands and explore the outer reaches of this world. Oh, I'd dearly love to see her again. But there ain't no way of making that journey with nothing to show for it. She looks up to me, does Lily. So, I'm reckoning that star might put a smile on her pretty face. With such a gift in hand, I'd maybe have the guts to go visit my granddaughter instead of skulking here like some craven ghost. That's if some kind and brave soul fetched it for me. Here our ways divide.
You truly are a hero of the modern age, succeeding where even the ancient Val could not. I must say I'm really quite relieved. For a while there I feared we were headed towards another theocratic dictatorship. Exile allowed me to be free of one. I had no wish to experience another. You deserve to be rewarded for your efforts. Here, something with a little insight would suit your purposes nicely. What? He's intending to make matrimony with Arakali? My word, that's quite a story even for Silk. Yes, I know that name, and the place to which it is purportedly attached. A temple to the north, now in ruins. If Silk intends unholy congress with this Arakali, that is the most likely place we would seek it. Yes, I know of Gruthgul, the grieving mother. She featured quite prominently in some of the Val texts I restored during my time at the museum in Theopolis. After the deaths of her children, Queen Gruthgul fled north, eventually finding respite amongst the refugees of her own shattered realm. Yet these loyalists saw their own queen as a weapon, a tool for vengeance. They nurtured her pain, transfiguring sorrow into hatred, hatred into violence. Like a grizzled bear, Gruthgul descended into animalism and ferocity. Yet her caretakers foolishly underestimated the agony their bereaved queen harbored in her heart. Like a bear caught in a trap, Gruthgul wrenched free of her human loyalties and slew her followers to the last woman and child. Through devastation, Gruthgul ascended to divinity. Gruthgul's pain has transcended ages. and she will vent that pain upon any and all she encounters until her grief is finally laid to rest.
All right. That's a lot. Oh, we have more.
What you tell me of Silk, this I understand, though I do not want to. I have spent many nights pondering Silk's journey, why he has stepped from the spirit path. Now I know. He has walked into the 8 arms of blind lust, Arakali. Silk is a warning to us all. He is trying to take the short trail to greatness, to the story Spirit has made for him. Silk tries to steal his story, but now he holds only a lie. Please, you must find the place where this Arakali sleeps in her web of shadow. You must stop Silk before he wakes her, a mistake that we all will come to regret. The Spirit tells me this is so. Go with the Spirit.
You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious to learn why Yina is a firefox later on.
One less twisted intellect perverting our world. There is still much to be done, but at least we can rest easier in the knowledge that Meligaro and his foul creations will trouble Rayclast no longer. Here. I know that you and Groost didn't see eye to eye, but I'm sure he would have wanted to recognize this deed. It's the act of a warrior, after all. Yes, I thank you. Though I loved him, I know Groost was lost to me the very moment he touched that vile abomination. I will weep over his passing for many more nights to come, but I am happy that you avenged his honor and freed him from his torment. There's an Asmeri shrine tucked away in the northern forest. Groost took me there, told me it was a memorial to those who had gone before him, a place where their spirits could rest. When he passed, he wanted his remains to be laid to rest with the bones of his people. His body, I find it difficult to even think about it, but I doubt it will ever be recovered. Yet there might still be a way. He gave me his necklace, the fangs he earned when he rose from boyhood to manhood, handed it to me for safekeeping only moments before Relakesh. It's almost as if he knew what was to come. Please, could you deliver this necklace to the shrine for me? Put Groost's spirit to rest. I would do it myself, but the journey to the northern forest is not what it was. These lands have changed, and not for the better. Keep your life to your own.
Alright. I've changed my mind about Alva, actually. I think we should listen to what she has to say.
I believe the secret of its location lies in the Val City, which, until very recently, was submerged and completely unreachable. It's a tale that beggars belief. Some devil coated the land in darkness, but a hero banished it and raised the city from the riverbed. Then some bandits swept in, claiming invaluable artifacts and blocking the only entrance until an even mightier hero sent them packing. If they were around, I'd ask them to help me achieve unfathomable wealth, but you'll do, I suppose. I'm headed off to the Val City. Find me there, and I'll help you fill your pockets. Thank the gods. You're no saint, I can see that. Though, who am I to question what form divine providence comes in? I am the great Alva Valai, reliquarian extraordinaire. A seeker of mysteries, explorer of the unknown, lover of all things that glitter, and I need your help. The lost temple of Atzoatl. Halls lined with finery, boxes stuffed with glimmering riches, and relics touched by insurmountable power. The eons lost to history, until now. Bye.
Bye. Okay. We have listened to everything. Let's get another life note. There's a lot of skill point quests in Acts 6 through 8, I believe. When we kill every single pantheon that we
not before.
kill, or every god we kill and get a pantheon from, we also get a skill point. And Grothkol is one of them. Surely the Shrine to Arakali will have voice acting. Surely. It does not.
So many gods, so many different forms of insanity. I will not fall victim to the same follies.
I didn't actually get the quest to collect all the fireflies. But they are showing up.
Grothkol! Thus I release you from motherhood's rage. The tragedy is that our world, our kind, may turn something as pure and honorable as a mother's love into such a vicious weapon of wrath and butchery. I only hope that Grothkol will find her children, happy in her arms, in the realms beyond.
The Forbidden Book spoke of you. Go back to the nothingness from whence you came.
So now we have the quest lighting the way after picking up that one firefly. I guess we just spontaneously realized that we need to collect these fireflies. Does it say in the description for it? Deliver them to Yina. Yeah, we just realized for no reason that we need those fireflies to deliver them to Yina. If we pick one up before she tells us. This part is a bit out of order.
When I'm ready, and not before.
That's just the game being nice. You don't have to get any quest from the quest giver. True, but it's kind of immersion breaking in this case. Like they didn't put an explanation for why your character is willing to just pick up these fireflies. There could have been like an alternate way to discover that you needed them, perhaps. You might be onto something about the extra 5 acts being subject to time crunch, though, and they never really got all the finishing touches in. I don't know. In general, I wouldn't say that the act is unpolished or anything. It's just that there are a few missing pieces, like some of the voice acting, and this quest in particular feels odd. To me, anyway. There's a much bigger issue at hand, but the protagonist decided to search this random thicket. Could have just gone where the game told you to. Well, the game did tell me to look for Gruthgul in the Dread Thicket, actually. So that's not really the case. We had the quest to seek out Gruthgul in the Dread Thicket. We were told to go there. Alright, we have...
very much, Groost, but don't feel bad. I don't really like anybody.
The witch doesn't like anybody. I feel like these... There are a few new voice lines for the witch, I think. I don't know when they were added, because I didn't really play the game for the last 2 years or so, but... She's a lot more chatty about random events than she used to be. Different voice actress, is it? I didn't really notice a difference, but then I also don't really remember what she used to sound like. I have no idea where to go next on my passive tree. I guess we could go for some lightning. Some lightning nodes. We're right here. Multiple classes were missing voice lines for acts 5 to 10. They added those in later. Yeah. I'll just go with these lightning nodes, actually. I'm gonna assume that lightning is my biggest damage because I'm using Spark.
I've found a way to blaze a trail to the legendary temple of Arzoatl. A spell cast upon these ancient waystones, triggered by the blood of the Varl. I've got some in me, you see. This spell will take you into days past. Once there, keep the portal open by slitting a few deserving throats. The longer you stay, the more I learn about the location of the present-day temple. Once we find it, we'll have all the time in the world to collect its many treasures. That's why we need to find the temple in the here and now. Be careful what you do while you're there, however. Any move you make ripples through time, changing things in this day and age. Well, what are you waiting for? Go make history.
Alright, we'll make some history here.
Let's go.
We're back in ancient Varl times.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Good job, Exile. Good to see you survived your first incursion. Ikwani, greetings. Goodbye.
All right.
I knew you'd find me. You and I were two coins in the same purse. Your last foray got us a little closer to finding the temple, but we have a ways to go. Hope you're ready for another. Let's go.
It's a shame the Val civilization fell, because they had the incredible technology of automatic doors that you don't need to click. Oh, it pauses on this screen now. That's good quality of life. That way you can decide which door to open with no pressure.
Good job.
Paquate's used his growing influence to funnel more corrupting energies into that room. The temple looms closer with each new step. Find me again, and we'll continue our task.
Another shrine to Arkali. No voice acting. Sad times. What level is my spark up to now? 16 plus 8. 24 spark in the campaign. That's great.
When I'm ready, and not before.
It could have been two levels higher actually with a double corruption. If we had +2 to socketed and +2 to lightning, for instance, then that spark would have been 2 levels higher. But those helmets were like 100 divines, so I didn't really splurge for that. I'm probably gonna get both sides. Alright, I'm going to find the waypoint and then head back to town to talk to people. I'll try to avoid triggering the Firefly interaction with Yina, because I want to talk to her in town first. Maybe we'll learn something. Just get a +2 AoE and +2 projectiles? How expensive could it be? Yeah. Spark doesn't have the AoE tag though. I would have to use a different skill for that. Wait, what is this? Oh, another...
4 rounds should be an easy mark to beat.
The Trial Master actually is in the campaign. Well, we don't want to do the trials. We don't want to do an ultimatum. It spams the screen so hard, AoE just seemed natural, true. But it's mostly the secondary effects, like the heralds making everything explode. Alright, we don't have to talk to Yina yet. We can come back through the waypoints. Let's talk to her in town first. As well as these other people.
So, this is Kishara's famed star. Just as I reckoned. It won't point me in any one direction. It can't make up its mind. I suspect due to me not being able to make up mine. I feel a tremor of prophecy coming over me. Like some scallywags just stomped over my grave. If I go see Lily, there's to be only disappointment and sorrow. Well, if that's what the future has in store, then it can keep it. I wish a long and vibrant life for the girlie. One free of the trouble that an old dead buccaneer like I might bring upon her.
Pondium, what is that?
Think of the worst place ye can imagine. That's Pondium. Now think of the gods be damned best whorehouse you've ever had the pleasure of. That's Pondium. A pirate paradise full of bodies to stab, holes to fill, and devious liquor to imbibe. Brine rots control the whole island and make sure it lives up to the lowest of expectations. Can't imagine much has changed since I was there last. Still, it's a good place to swashbuckle and make love to a bawdy, buxom bunter out back of a boozy bar.
That's the first time we hear about the brine rots.
If you're thinking about dying, them brine rots be a nasty bunch. Led by me very own flesh and blood, me baby sister Lucy. The rot mother, they call her now. Used to be that I were their leader, back when the brine rots were about one thing, and one thing only, raiding, pillaging, and plundering their scrawny black guts out. Old Lucy were me first mate, for years. But she got a whiff of the power that being captain could gain her, and mutineered me own sister. Dropped me on some deserted island off the coast of somewhere. The bitch. Took months to make it back to the mainland. That brine rot clan's been trouble ever since. Used to have some good old-fashioned pirate on 'em, and now they're raving mad lunatics out for their next fix of fear and fortune. If you're thinking about dying, trust old Whalem. Don't.
Alright. I'll try not to die.
So the grieving mother sleeps once more. Her story has come to fascinate me, and your conquest of her makes for a satisfying dramatic climax, don't you think? I'm but an old man living vicariously through your life. As history seems intent on repeating itself, I should record it in a book. An historical account of the goddess Gruthkol and the legendary champion who defeated her. Yes, the title needs a bit of work, but it will suffice for now. Here, consider this offering as an advance on the royalties we shall reap post-publication. That is, if there is anyone in Rayclast who can read. Keep your wits about you.
More skill points.
I feel I have failed my poor Groost, not being able to return his bones to the resting place of his people. Still, we have done all we could, considering the circumstances. Groost was a practical man at heart. He would understand. You deserve our thanks. Here are some of Groost's most treasured possessions. I'm sure he would have wanted you to have one.
Just a bunch of amulets. Alright.
Keep your life to your own.
Okay, Yena, are you gonna explain why you need the fireflies and why you turn into a firefox?
You are like the frog that strikes the fly faster than I can see. No. Carry your bright bags to Arakali's gate. We will meet there and brew our fire dew. Not here. Too much to burn. Too many to make blind.
Brew our fire dew. Okay. She doesn't have any voice lines regarding that stuff. She does have something about Arakali, though. We can ask about that.
I have asked questions of spirit, and it has answered in dreams that wake me with screaming. Arakali will suck all life from this land, leave only empty husks and dusty bones. There will be no spirit, no us, no thing left to love and laugh. Only husks and dust and Arakali. Be well.
Be well. Alright, I think all that remains here is to go fight Arakali. Well, first we need to see why she turns into a firefox. Love letter? Wait, is that Silk's love letter to Arakali?
Your soft whispers beneath earth tingle my skin, like breath of love against my loins. I sleep not. I hear your name inside my skull. Arakali. No name tasted so sweet on my tongue. Stories I have heard, tales of cursed beauty, visage of woman, jewel that walks the streets in final days of a great empire. Heard tell you sought victims, but I know too. You sought man to love you, to break spell. You hoped true love might allow you to shed eight-leg body, to become goddess of love once more. I pledge myself to you, my lady of Val. I promise love, for I am that man you have waited on. Corrupt corpse lovers claim to worship you, call you spinner of shadows. But you have spun only shadows of desire about my heart. Sweet Arakali, I have found your altar. I will speak the call. I will return you to beauty. I will raise you from black pits of despair, and together we shall rule Rayclast in glory forever.
Wow, he is truly delusional. Alright, Yena, why are you a firefox?
Fireflies, so bright and juicy with flame. Now for the right. I warn you. Stand back and be not afraid of what you see. And be not afraid for me. The spirit guides and protects. Though I may change, I shall still be, will always be, Yena.
It's so random. He turns into Firefox and burns the webs. I guess we know which browser is GGG's favorite. It's not Chrome.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Is it Opera? No. Clearly Edge. Internet Explorer.
Good eye, Exile. Pretty little rocks, just.
Imagine Yena turning into an Internet Explorer to burn away the webs. Yeah. Maybe they change the blockage to be a window, and she smashes the window.
4 rounds should be an easy mark to beat.
That way, Internet Explorer has crashed. I crashed the window. Crash Windows. Explorer.exe stopped working. Man, I wish I could talk. These jokes would land better if I could articulate. I'm a bit fried today. This is me realizing I haven't been using my flasks. I'll probably forget to use them again soon. This temple is really long and samey, like it's just the same type of layout over and over. Kind of feels like padding for this act, because it's quite a short act compared to the others. You can power through this one really quickly if you don't listen to all the quest dialogue.
My bride has arrived, Exile. I hope you brought a wedding gift.
She grabbed Silk. There's his head on a spike.
Oh, Silk, what did you expect?
Oh, nice. You can actually see his spine hanging from that spike as well. From the head. So much detail in this game that can easily be missed.
You hear that? No? It is spirit singing as does the fly who escapes the web. Yes, it is most happy with us. And with your strange friend there too. He is a god. Yes, I can see that much. But why he helps you? Of all questions, that one you must have answer to. Now I must return to Broken Bridge. So tired now. We will speak more of Silk and sorrow then.
Many an artist of Esmerian descent has engaged in the sad worship of that sultry arachnid. But you looked in those hypnotic eyes and then ripped them out. She lies in her bed of sordid memory, alone. A little of the spider yet creeps and crawls in my palm. A touch more power for my subduer of gods?
I will gladly drink of this power.
Alright, that is the end of Act 7. Let's move on to 8. I wonder if I should call it here, actually. I know it's been really short, but I'm definitely not gonna have enough energy to do all 3 of the remaining acts. Not today, anyway. We'll do, yeah, I'll resume this tomorrow, I think. I'm gonna do the last 3 acts tomorrow. I should probably do lab as well, because we need, what's it called? We need another ascendancy point. The golem one will give us a nice little buff. A substantial buff, actually. We can summon 2 more golems. And have them be 50% stronger. Have the buffs be stronger, as well as they won't get killed, or they'll get resummoned when they die. So that's gonna be nice. I could honestly head straight to Merciless Lab immediately after Cruel Lab. That's one of the benefits of a second character. You've already done all the trials. But I don't think any of the other points are super important, actually. The golem one's great. These others are okay, but they're not gonna substantially change how we play. I think the end game build for this character will probably have the Lycia bloodline for the Herald node. I don't know how many points I need for that, actually. I haven't looked at that bloodline. I just know there's a good Herald node in there. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. I'll be back tomorrow to finish this. Once I've recorded all 10 acts, I'll get all of them ready for YouTube. I think this will be a nice little playlist with the entire story of the game. I've really enjoyed recording this stuff. It's actually a lot of fun to play PoE like this. A brand new experience for me. Yeah, thanks for watching, Sully. And to anyone else that might be lurking. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Hopefully I will see you next time. And next time is tomorrow. Good stream. Thanks, Gadden. And bye for now.